Hi everyone, happy Monday. It's Jed. Welcome to the Bitcoin update. I hope everyone had a great weekend. I know you guys saw that crazy volatile move down we saw from Bitcoin. As you guys see, the stock market, as just posted here, over $1.4 trillion was wiped out from the US stock market today. Very bloody weekend. Even going to this week, very bloody. Here, he mentioned there are some factors driven by this, which definitely play a very big role in this sell-off. But in my opinion, I just think this is all just speeding up what was supposed to happen anyway, right? I don't think it changes the trajectory where crypto is headed. Um, I think crypto is still very strong. So, Bitcoin, guys. So I try to give you guys some continuous updates on the Telegram. Here you can see it started off on these weekly levels. As you can see here, these week levels failed to hold, which resulted in breaking one weekly onto the next weekly and onto the next weekly. Okay, and yes, these are weekly levels, but sometimes they can act like hourly levels. That's how volatile crypto just is. So here you can see, right, we had this first weekly support. This is invalid now. That broke right through it. We had a daily here, right? If it's breaking through a weekly, then, how much can this daily really hold, right? You can see it attempted a hard close. However, it just went straight towards the next untested weekly here. We even had this weekly uptrend, right? If we go to the weekly uptrend, we can't evolve this weekly uptrend yet because there's still 5 days left until this candle, well, 6 days until this candle close. You never know. Sometimes the body of the candle will actually close like this right above it, and then you see a gigantic wick. And technically, that's still a hard close above the weekly uptrend. So we can't evolve this weekly uptrend yet. So that's where going into the smaller time frames play a big part in this. But here you can see we have this untested weekly. We can make this dotted now. All right. And it even went as far as low as these dailies that we had marked way below here. So overall, what an incredible bounce here. So for anyone, and this is what I mean, having far-fetched buys, having limits set where it may seem outrageous to even have, but in times like this is where they sometimes get hit, right? This bounce alone, just from these daily levels, is already a 14% bounce, just off a bounce, guys. 14-15% is, a week for me would be an amazing trade, right? Some people made this in literally less than a day. So that's just part of playing the bounces. But yeah, so here we go into smaller time frame on the daily time frame. We still have these daily levels. These are still valid. We can delete this now. Again, we're going to keep that weekly up. We're going to keep this weekly uptrend. And yeah, so we can see that it went far as low as this tested daily levels here. However, we saw a volatile bounce, and now it's starting to hard close above this weekly support. So again, the more hard daily levels there are above this weekly support, the better, because what that means is that now it's holding above this weekly support, okay? Now, because there has been such a downtrend, and whenever there's a downfall like this, again, guys, it's gonna be quite boring for the next week or so, maybe longer. In my opinion, we may have some small bounces here and there, but overall, I think, well, no, I'm certain that whenever there are periods like this, it's always followed by a decent period of accumulation. Okay. Now, one thing we have to consider is that yes, this is a higher high on a macro time frame, but you guys have to remember that these smaller time frames make up the bigger move. Okay, so what we have to do here is we have to actually take note of this lower low in a local time frame. So let's make this red because we are on the daily time frame. This is not something we could mark out on the weekly, so we have to go in the smaller time frame, okay? So we start off evolving our lower lows, okay? From here to there, okay, etc. And we go there. Okay, perfect. So this low, which we should have made, but I didn't. So my mistake on my end. And again, guys, if you find something, that I'm missing, definitely feel free to comment down below. Even I make mistakes. So we have this downtrend. As you can see, it's respecting this range here along with the subtrend, and even here. Okay. Again, on a macro time frame, it looks great. Okay, amazing, lower high. But again, these smaller time frames make up the bigger move, right? We want the most efficient entry to accumulate. So doing this narrows it down even more. Okay, so now we're playing with an apex around mid-August. Okay, I don't think there's going to be a significant move. I mean, the highest I see maybe go back to 64K, which actually would be a pretty significant move. But I would expect accumulation to pretty much Bitcoin price move sideways, right? Up until mid-August, end of August, okay? And that's assuming that this weekly support continues to hold, all right? Now, if we break below this weekly support, right, there's a lot of daily levels here, but again, I don't think that would be enough to support the price action moving down. In a case where it does break this weekly support, where's the next weekly? Back in 48K range. You can mark the swing low here as a weekly, which we can we'll keep the daily there, but this is the weekly range. But again, if it's breaking below this weekly, it's most likely going to break that whole range. Okay, it may find support in this region here, but eventually I think it's going to end up breaking and end up falling here to the 44K range if this weekly range breaks. Okay, as of right now, it doesn't look like that. Okay, we have to confirm accumulation, right? It's entering accumulation, large balance. We're going to confirm a couple days. The next week or so is going to be quite boring, I know, guys, but that's how we prepare ourselves. Okay, so when there comes a time, right, when Bitcoin, everything, there's geopolitical factors, all the major sell-offs and complete fears happening, just go straight to the weekly levels. Okay, straight to the weekly supports that I mark out and just focus on those. Okay, don't even focus on daily levels. I mean, in this case, it did hit up a daily level, but it also fell within this weekly range here, right? This weekly that we had just marked. But yeah, just look at the weekly level. So yeah, so Bitcoin fell, as you see, with this move up, this bounce up. A lot of coins, as you see, everything's green right now. In my opinion, I think it's just temporarily. I think it's the next week or so is going to be pretty boring. Sideways price action, accumulation, and some of these coins did bounce, but I think it's just a relief bounce, and I think there will be another time to accumulate once more on the like Bitcoin. I think there's going to be another chance to accumulate within this range, in my opinion. So, but yeah, I mean, if not, then we have this weekly support here. But overall, yeah, keep watch on Bitcoin. Stay in the daily time frame. The more daily closes above this weekly, the better. And I will, see you guys on the altcoin update. If you guys have any questions, just again drop them down below, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks. Bye.